Night settled over Umuulo compound like a heavy cloth. Not because the moon refused to shine, but because Chief Odogu, the landlord, had turned the compound into a place where laughter disappeared quickly. He was a big man with a loud voice and a walking stick that never left his hand. Even when he smiled, his smile carried fear. Every month when rent time was close, the compound became quiet. Mothers hid their cooking pots, fathers avoided the corridor, children stopped playing. Because once Chief Odogu stepped into the compound, trouble followed him like a shadow. If your rent was late by 1 day, he shouted. If it was late by 2 days, he insulted you. If it was late by 3 days, he brought his boys and threw your belongings outside. He did not care if rain was falling. He did not care if your baby was sick. He did not care if you begged until your knees trembled. His favorite words were, "My house is not charity. If you cannot pay, pack out." Many people lived in that compound. There was Mama Ifeoma, a widow, who sold roasted corn by the roadside. There was Bello, a tailor who worked late into the night. There were Chika and Ongozi, two sisters who braided hair under a small umbrella. There was old Panwafo, who coughed often and walked slowly with a stick. They were not bad people. They were simply struggling. But Chief Odogu treated struggle like a crime. One morning, Mama Ifeoma came out to fetch water and discovered her bucket was missing. When she asked the landlord's boy, he pointed toward the landlord's room. "Madam, Oga said you must pay water bill. If not, no water." Mama Ifeoma's eyes filled with tears. "Water bill? Since when?" The boy shrugged. Oga created it. That was Chief Odogu's way. He created new rules like a man planting thorns on a path. Today it was water bill. Tomorrow it was corridor fee. Next week it was gate tax. If you do not like my rules, the road is outside. Fear ruled the compound. Until one day, a woman arrived. Her name was Amara. She came with one large box, a small bag, and a calm face. She was not loud, but she stood firm. Her eyes were calm but strong. "Good morning, my people," she greeted. People watched her with quiet curiosity. Before evening, Chief Odogu came out to confront her. "You, new woman, rent must be paid on time, no excuses." "Okay," Amara replied calmly. "There are extra charges: water bill, gate fee, light contribution, toilet maintenance." Amara asked quietly, "Sir, what is the exact amount and where is the written agreement?" The compound froze. No one had ever asked that question. "This is my house," he barked. "And it is our home while we pay rent," she replied gently. "Everything should be fair." That night, whispers filled the compound. But Amara did not come to fight with noise. She came to fight with wisdom. The next day, Mama Ifeoma returned to find her bucket at her door. Beside it lay a note. "Water is life. No one should take it from you. Amara." Days later, Amara gathered the tenants under the mango tree. "My people," she said softly, "fear grows when we suffer alone." "What can we do?" Bello asked. "He owns the building." "Yes," she said, "but he does not own your self-respect." She wrote down their problems: broken toilet, no water, no receipts, illegal charges, threats and intimidation. "We will stand together and we will act wisely." From that day, things began to change. They recorded every payment. They demanded receipts. They stopped giving secret money to the landlord's boys. They cleaned the drainage. They repaired broken taps. They painted the corridor. The compound slowly changed. The smell faded. The walls looked brighter. Children began to play again in the evenings. Neighbors greeted one another instead of rushing indoors. Hope slowly returned. Chief Odogu became angry. "Who told you to paint my corridor?" "We did," Amara replied. "It was dirty." That evening, he sent his boys to remove her door lock. But the tenants stood together in silence. Bello stood there. Mama Ifeoma stood there. Chika and Ongozi stood there. Even old Panwafo leaned on his stick and stood. "You will not touch that lock," Amara said calmly. She raised her phone. "Everything is being recorded." The boys looked at each other and stepped back. Soon, an official letter arrived. It ordered inspection of the building. It warned against illegal eviction. It warned against threatening tenants. It mentioned fines and punishment. For the first time, fear entered the landlord's heart. Days later, he called the tenants. "The toilet will be fixed," he said. "Water will be restored. Extra charges will be reviewed." People looked at each other in disbelief. The man who once shouted now spoke quietly. The man who once threatened now avoided their eyes. Hope rose like sunrise. Weeks passed. Repairs were made. Receipts were given. Harassment stopped. Peace returned to the compound. Mama Ifeoma told Amara, "You came like rain in dry season." Amara smiled. "I only reminded people of their strength." Bello added softly, "We were afraid for too long. Now we know we are not powerless." And the lesson became clear. A bully is strong only where people are afraid. But when people stand together with wisdom, even the wicked must change. And that is how peace returned to Umulo compound, because one brave woman reminded everyone that fear is not forever. Some evenings later, laughter returned to the compound like a visitor that had been gone for years. Children chased one another between the rooms. The smell of fresh soup drifted through the air. People sat outside and shared stories under the fading light. Chief Udogu watched from his doorway. For the first time, no one ran inside when he appeared. No one lowered their eyes. They greeted him respectfully, but without fear. Something inside him shifted. Power built on fear had kept him lonely. Respect built on fairness brought peace around him. He turned and went back into his room, quieter than before. And life moved forward with dignity, courage, and unity. From that day on, new tenants who entered the compound met a different atmosphere. They heard stories of the time fear ruled the corridors and how unity brought change. The mango tree became a place of meeting, not of whispering. The repaired toilet stood as a simple reminder that small victories matter. People still struggled, but they struggled together. When one lacked food, another shared. When one child was sick, neighbors helped. The compound was no longer a place of silence. It became a place of community.
If this story spoke to you, remember to like, subscribe, and share it. More timeless stories await.